Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother and her two stepsisters. Sadly, they did not treat Cinderella well. They made her do all of the household chores, because of which Cinderella was shabby and covered in ash or cinders. And so she got the name Cinderella. One day, the king invited all the houses of the kingdom for a grand ball at the palace. Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters were excited as they got ready for the grand ball, but they did not allow Cinderella to go. As they left for the ball, Cinderella felt very sad that she couldn't go, and she began to cry. Suddenly, a fairy godmother appeared and said, "Don't cry, Cinderella. I will send you to the ball." Cinderella was surprised to see a fairy godmother. Wiping her tears, she said, "I don't have anything nice to wear for the ball." The fairy godmother smiled and waved her magic wand. Cinderella's old clothes turned into a beautiful new gown. The fairy godmother then touched Cinderella's feet with the magic wand, and lo and behold, she had beautiful glass slippers. Then the fairy godmother found 6 mice playing near a pumpkin. She touched them with her magic wand, and the mice became 4 shiny black horses and 2 coachmen, and the pumpkin turned into a golden coach. Cinderella was overjoyed. The fairy godmother said, "Cinderella, this magic will only last until midnight. You must reach home by then." Promising the fairy godmother, Cinderella set off for the ball. Everyone at the ball was struck by Cinderella's beauty as she entered the palace. Even her stepmother or stepsisters could not recognize her. The handsome prince saw her, though, and he fell in love with Cinderella. He wanted to ask her to dance. Cinderella said yes, and they danced all evening. Cinderella was so happy and lost in the moment that she forgot all about the time. She suddenly saw the clock. It was about to strike midnight. She remembered the fairy godmother's words and her promise, and she rushed to go home. The prince ran behind her to try and stop her, but Cinderella ran into her coach and she set off for home. She did not realize that one of her glass slippers had come off. The prince found it and kept it safe with him. The prince had fallen in love with Cinderella and wanted to find out who this beautiful girl was, but he did not even know her name. He decided to visit all the houses in the kingdom to find out whose glass slipper it was. All the women in the kingdom tried on the slipper, but of course it fit no one. Cinderella's stepsisters also tried it on by squeezing their feet into the glass slipper, but it did not fit them either. Cinderella's stepmother did not allow her to try it, but the prince saw her and insisted that she tried the glass slipper too. And to everyone's surprise, the glass slipper fit Cinderella perfectly. The prince recognized her from the ball, and he was overjoyed to have found her. The prince married Cinderella, and they lived happily ever after.